Hello there. This is just a quick video to teach you about frequency of using essential oils, how often to use them, because this can be very confusing with people at the beginning. Most frequently, when I hear people say that essential oils don't work, is because they don't use them often enough. So it is very, very important with essential oils to use them frequency. We often say frequency, consistency is key. They're different in this aspect to pharmaceutical, for instance, where with pharmaceutical you don't have to use them so often, but with time you build resistance, right? This is a big problem, and then you have to take bigger and bigger doses because your body just gets accustomed to them. Now with essential oils, because they're pure Mother Nature, they are fully metabolized and out of our system within a couple of hours, so there is no residue in our bodies like it is with pharmaceuticals. And hence there is no side effects. There is no side effects of essential oils because they in and out. They help body heal, they bring body into balance, and they metabolize them out. So that's beautiful. But with this, it means that we have to use them more frequently. And again, what's different is that you might need to use them frequently, and even for long-term chronic conditions, you might have to use them for 2 or 3 weeks before you start noticing the difference. But they have what we call a cumulative effect, which means you use them and then they accumulate and they start working, they bring the information down, and then we see amazing results. So you have to wait some time. The other thing to remember about essential oils is that if you have any reference book or reference app and you check what essential oil, for instance, to use to help with viral infection, and the reference guide would suggest few oils, and this is also very confusing with people. Now the reason being is because there is lots of oils with the same properties. So a single essential oil can have up to 200 or 300 different constituents with the unique properties. So that's why we have essential oils with lots of different properties. So we have lots of essential oils that the properties overlap. So there is lots of essential oils with antiviral properties, lots of essential oils with antifungal properties, anti-inflammatory properties. And so when someone suggests to you, and when the reference book suggests to you to use, it gives you a list of different oils, it's because all these oils have that specific, for instance, antiviral properties. And you would normally go with what you have at home. I like to combine even all the oils with the same properties from the list that I have suggested. So you would first go with what the list suggests for you for antiviral properties, what you have at home. But the thing to remember, we all have different body chemistry. So very often the same essential oils work for the same people, but sometimes you need to experiment a little bit. Just like with normal medication, you need to try different oils to find the one that works for you. So if you try 1-2 oils and it doesn't work, don't give up. Check what other oils you can use and use them. It's often about experimenting. So so this is how they work. And you have to be consistent. Now when we talk about consistency, so it means how often do you reapply or reuse the essential oils. Now we have to first establish whether you are tackling acute condition or chronic condition. So if you're trying to tackle acute health concern, acute meaning stuff that happens from time to time, for instance tension headaches, for instance muscular pain because you overexercised, digestive complaint or bloating because you overate, so stuff that happens from time to time. Now the other spectrum is the chronic illnesses, stuff that is ongoing. stuff that we have every day. For instance, I used to have IBS, and that's a chronic condition. So once you established whether it's acute or chronic, then depending on that, the frequency varies. So for acute stuff, for health complaints that happen from time to time, you can use your essential oils as often as every 30 minutes at the beginning until your symptoms subside. So if you have a really bad headache, you can reapply your essential oils every half an hour until they subside, and then you decrease the frequency to every 2 to 6 hours until the headache goes away. Every 2 to 6 hours, again, it depends as often as you need. If it's still pretty bad, apply it every 2 hours. And normally you wouldn't have to carry on for longer than 2 days, right? That's the nature of acute health complaint. So every half an hour until the symptoms subside, and then decrease the frequency to every 2 to 6 hours. With chronic conditions, now this is a long term, and you have to think about chronic condition that we've built. Chronic condition didn't happen overnight. We've built it most likely because of our lifestyle. So you really need to give the essential oils and your body the chance to work properly. So you have to use it for longer before you see the results. So for chronic conditions, we typically reapply or reuse the essential oils once or twice a day, and you have to keep going. Consistency is key with essential oils. If you take it every now and again, a little bit random, they won't work. Consistency is very, very key. So for chronic conditions, if you're trying essential oil, really you need to give it at least 3 weeks of using that essential oil consistently, once or twice a day, before you see whether it works, before you decide whether it works, and you move on to trying a different oil. For acute conditions, you have to give it at least 2 days of using that oil before you decide whether it works for you or not. So that's very, very important. When people tell me often the essential oils don't work, it's because they don't use them frequently enough, or they don't understand how often to reuse them. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions, or connect with the person that introduced you to doTERRA. Bye.